need shades, Rabbi.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, how are you? I know. Ine matzo manayim shevet achim kam yachad. Ine matzo manayim shevet achim kam yachad. Ine matzo shevet achim kam yachad. Ine matzo shevet achim kam yachad. Ine matzo manayim shevet achim kam yachad. Ine matzo manayim shevet achim kam yachad. Ine matzo yadadai yadadadadadadai. Ine matzo yadadai yadadadadadai yadadai.
So the wonderful thing about Pesach, I like to go to community seders, like I said, all around the country. I think I talked about the Aging Hippie Seder. I went to that one. Hippies don't age well. Savannah was a Seder for the Hillel down there, and the Jewish community that was, the federation that was sponsoring it was a little too generous with the wine there. But it's nice because often you'll sit with people that you don't know, and we, form a real community. So please take a moment, look around, and please wish Shabbat Shalom to others around you. That way everybody will have a chance, particularly if they're guests, to say Shabbat Shalom.
Ine matzo manayim shevet achim kam yachad. Ine matzo manayim shevet achim kam yachad. Ine matzo, how very good, how good it is that we're all here, especially when the light's shining. And now Rabbi needs shades. But other than him needing shades, you could see this beautiful reflection, and it also harkens back to our old bima, and it really is continuity. So we're going to continue. We're going to welcome the Sabbath bride, bottom of page 21. Hopefully you all know this, and not just because I wrote the melody, but after we go through one time, we should all be singing it. Bo'i Kala, bottom of 21. Bo'i kala, l'chadoti l'krat kala, b'nei Shabbat l'kabela. Bo'i kala, bo'i kala, l'chadoti l'krat kala, b'nei Shabbat l'kabela. Bo'i kala. For those of you who don't know it, oh, Sabbath bride, won't you come inside? Won't you come inside? We welcome you tonight, Bo'i Kala. Let's hear it, oh, Sabbath bride. Oh, Sabbath bride, won't you come inside?
Debbie Perlman was one of the first in this generation to begin writing Jewish poetry. And she took the model of the book of Psalms. She has about 150 different poems for Shabbat, for different holidays, to mark different moments in life. This is 78, a song for renewal. As Purim turned into Pesach, you bid us begin, Eternal One. You have coaxed us to peel away winter layers that kept us muffled from you. In the gray and lengthening days of early spring, call us to turn to you. We fling open windows and fill our souls with fresher air and warming winds. Move us to a new beginning. Call us to you in the changeable, fragile days that we might feel refreshed. You give us this constant gift of renewal, even as you create the world anew each week. We open ourselves and inhale deeply as we move forward towards our season of freedom. We warm ourselves again beneath your hand, cleansing our hearts, turning to you in joy, Eternal God.
Top of page 26, we join together. Yitgadal v'yitgadash Shemei Rabbah B'alma divrach cherutei v'yamlich malchutei B'chayechon u'vyomechon u'ra'edecho Beit Yisrael Ba'gala u'vizman kariv v'meru amen Yehi Shmei Rabbah Mevorach Le'olam Yom Maya Yitbarach V'yishtabach V'yipar V'yitroman V'yinaseh V'yitadar V'yitale V'yitalal Shemei Dekudusha Brechu Le'ela Min Kol Berchata V'shirata Tushvechata v'nechemata Damiran b'yahama v'meru amen.
Please rise in body, posture, spirit, the Baruch Hu on page 28.
Lai, 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 lai.
Together on the top of page 29, the words from the Fourfold Song by Rav Kook. There is one who sings the song of his own life, finding everything within himself. There is one who leaves the circle of herself and sings the song of her people. There is one whose voice rings with the song of humanity, hoping for the highest perfection. And there is one who rises even higher, uniting with all creatures, with all worlds, filling the universe with song. Nivarech, let us bless. We continue reading together on the bottom of page 30. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being. skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alerts the time and changes the seasons, and arranges their stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are a creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzevaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on the evening. Baruch atah Adonai, ha-ma'ariv aravim.
Page 34. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed.
Please be seated.
We continue on the top of page 36. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levacha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'elech asher anochi mitzavecha hayom alevavecha Bishinantam levanecha, v'dibartabam, b'shivtecha b'veitecha, uvlektecha v'aderech, u'shofbecha u'kumecha, u'kshartam leot al yadecha, v'hayu letatafot b'neinecha, u'ktavtam, Amizuzot beitecha uvisharecha leman tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'itim kedoshim lelohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim Le'olachem Elohim Ani Adonai Elohechem.
When the children of Israel crossed the Red Sea, legend says that the angels burst into song. And God responded to them, "How can you sing when my children are dying?" And it is that very deep heartbreak that we feel with all of those who have lost their lives in Israel and in Gaza. All of the innocent people who have been displaced. And with all of the demonstrations on college campuses and the concern about safety for Jewish students, we truly offer our prayers, praying for this conflict to end, praying for the leaders to break free from their recalcitrance, to help people to be able to heal, to rebuild, to live in safety. We read together on our guide sheets. We gather together in faith and with hope to pray for peace and safety. Help us, Holy One, and protect us in our hour of need. Touch our hearts, lest they be hardened with despair. Guide our thoughts, lest they are overcome with fear. Bring strength to dear ones held hostage, for all of the innocent in Israel and Gaza, and comfort to those in mourning. Healing to everyone who has been injured, courage to those living in fear. Protect the soldiers of Israel. Watch over all caregivers in Israel and Gaza. Send wisdom and compassion to all who lead. Inspire them to bring peace. Yedid Nefesh, beloved one, reveal yourself and fill the world with your light. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Be quick, God of love, for the time has come. Have mercy upon us, eternal one of peace.
Page 40, top of the page. Medar Bakodesh, Norati Lo, Osebelet, Norati Lo, Osebelet, Mahalechutecha, Rahumanecha, Bokeayam Lifnei, Moshe Miriam, Anu ve'amiru Adonai imlo le'olam ba'ed Yadai, 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 yadai. Now you. Yadai, 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 top of page 42. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'Shalom V'hamidenu Shomrei Nu L'chaim Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'Shalom V'hamidenu Shomrei Nu L'chaim. Sixth line from the bottom, Ushmor. Ushmor Tzedenu Uboenu L'chaim U'shalom Me'ata
We continue with tefillah. Please rise in body, posture, or spirit.
Adonai Sifatai Titam Ufiagi Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Top of page 48. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu Imotenu Elohei Abraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor V'Hanorah El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim V'Konei Hakol V'Zocher Chastei Avot V'Imahot U'Mevi Kula Lifnei V'Nehem L'man Shemo B'Ahava Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen Baruch atah Adonai Magen Avraham Be'ezrat Sarah, page 50. Ata gibur le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh hakol ata, Rav Yoshia, Morid atal, Mechalchel chaim bechesed, Mechayeh hakol berachamim rabim, Somek noflim verofeh holim, Umatir asurim, Umekayeh emunato, Lishenei afar, Michamocha b'gevurot, Umido melach, Melech mimi, Umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman ata l'chayot hakol, Baruch ata Adonai, Mechayeh hakol. Middle of the page on 52. You are holy, your name is holy, and those who are holy praise you every day. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh.
We continue with our own prayers or the prayers of the tefillah, which go to page 60. Please be seated as you conclude. Our God and God of our mothers and fathers, God of Sarah and Abraham, Rebekah and Isaac, Leah, Rachel, and Jacob, as you've been with our ancestors, be with all who are in need of your healing. Send them refuat hanefesh, refuat haguf, healing of body, mind, and spirit. During this festival of Pesach, as our ancestors felt the weight of slavery lift off them, may all of our dear ones who are ill, may all who are ill feel the weight of illness rise from them. May they feel comfort and ease, renewed strength with your love. Care for their dear ones. We're praying for them. Guide all who take care of them to have skilled hands and understanding hearts. We offer our prayers for Elaine Toll, Nadav Ephraim Kamer, Nadav Ephraim Ben Shulamit Leah, Andrea Klein, Kenny Berkowitz, Lois Berkowitz, Marie Curie, Eileen Feldman, Owen Spirito, Dennis Aikman, Kim Peterson, Lori Bacalar, Mike Walsh, Brianna Brothers, Yaakov Chaim ben Shalom Steve Abrina, Sandra Mosk, Paul Polachek, Roger Landy, Gary Friedman, Joan Kramer, Michael Hoffman, and Sidney Rose. Are there others who we add? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Baruch atah Adonai Rafeh HaCholim. Blessed are you, O God, who sends strength and healing to the ill.
Shalom, Tova, Uvracha, Sim Shalom, Tova, Uvracha, Sim Shalom.
John, thank you. It's so great to have you back.
It's great to be back.
With Soro Tovot, all of the wonderful things in our lives, does anybody have anything to share? Any great Pesach stories? Anybody like to see how I dance to say, out of having the sun in my eyes? Yes.
Rabbi, I have a quick Pesach story. So
Sure.
Second night I was at my aunt's in New Bedford, and my little cousin named Elijah is 2.5. And every time we mention Elijah, he drank a whole cup of grape juice. And then he was running around the house on the Seder table, crazy the whole time, but it was very funny. Every time we said the name, he popped up and drank some grape juice. So it was very cute, very cute.
Great. Yes.
A quick note that whoever saw us sort of scrambling around in the foyer, that Betty Dyer, she is fine. There was just a mix-up in the ride that she was supposed to get back from Boston, and I had the list of all of her family. I was in touch with her family. We couldn't find her, but she is home. I think it was many hours of confusion, but she's fine. But our Passover Seder had 38 people, more than ever before, almost double, and it was remarkable. And I just have to thank, where is he? Where's Jack? Jack is magical leading the Seder. It was just sweet. And also in the newspaper article, they left David out. And they shouldn't have, because it wouldn't have happened if David wasn't, 50 or 60%. Thank you.
Thanks. Anybody else? So, question for you. Anybody, have been to like a really memorable Passover Seder? Maybe a memorable Seder from growing up, or memorable Seder traveling around? Anybody been to a memorable Passover Seder? Yes, we got a couple. I'll just pass the mic down.
Many years ago at my grandmother's house, may she rest in peace, there were 13 cousins, and we were all together for one Passover, and it was wonderful. It was a very great. And
we were just saying, we have so many. We have so many memories. The one that's most dear to me is my grandfather conducting the service, and I don't know how many people were on the table. I was little, and it looked like 100, but it was probably more like 20 or 25. And my grandfather was the sole survivor of his family, and for him to lead the Seder, and he rarely spoke. So leading the whole Seder and get everybody's involvement in it, it's in there for a very long time.
I'm not sure I have anything that memorable to add. Everybody's Seders are so special to each other. My mother's holiday growing up was always Passover. My aunt did Thanksgiving. My mom did Passover. And we did gather around. And I lived in Massachusetts. My family's from New York. And it just was beautiful to have everybody come together. Now, thank God for Zoom. My sister runs our family Seder, and those of us that are not able to be there in person are Zooming around, which is wonderful. And I'm sure many of you know my husband's aunt, Miriam Schutzer. She's 96. She joined us this year at our house to Zoom with everybody and read just as well as everybody else. So it's a wonderful thing to be happy and together and share that.
I just wanted to give memory from my Bobby and Zadie. We had the best Sadies imaginable, and it was the biggest thrill of my life when I went to the bridge table to the regular table. That was the promotion, and it's unbelievable. They're memories that are priceless, just priceless. I'm grateful to remember them all. And it was a long Seder. Every year it got longer. My Zadie wouldn't stop. We couldn't wait for him to finish. So forgive me, Zadie, but that's the way it was. And thank you.
Thank you, Rabbi. My grandparents' family were Orthodox, and we used to travel out to the other side of the state to do the Seder with them, which was all in Hebrew, completely. It was a long table with all my grandfather's brothers and my grandmother's sisters and brother-in-laws. It was a long table. And I even remember when my bubby used to bring the fish home from the fish market, all right, put them in the bathtub, okay? And from that, she ended up making gefilte fish, okay? And I remember helping with the chopped liver and doing all the grinding, and it was a big family affair. So, thank you.
How many people remember the grinder? Yeah, my grandmother had one. So this is a tale. Did I miss anyone? This is a tale of, starts with Rabbi Elimelech of Lozhansk. He was third generation Hasidic master, and he was known for being the one, kind of like a Hasidic version of Rabbi Meyer, that people would always go to for counsel. And one year on Passover morning, students were all gathered around and said, Rabbi Elimelech, that was the most amazing Seder. No Seder could be better. And Rabbi Elimelech said, well, thank you, but actually, Moshe the water carrier had a better Seder. Moshe the water carrier? Moshe can barely read. How could he have a better Seder? And Rabbi Elimelech said, go and get Moshe and bring him here. You know, it took a little while, but they brought Moshe. He was all disheveled. He looked like he hadn't slept. And Rabbi Elimelech said, please, Moshe, tell us about your Seder. He said, I am so sorry, Rabbi. I'm so sorry. It'll never happen again. And with that kind of warm smile to coax and reassure him that it was okay, he said, please, Moshe. So Moshe said, look, Rabbi, everybody knows that because of those buckets of water, it's so heavy that I'll often stop at an inn and get a drink. And knowing that I wouldn't be able to drink the liquor that I like for 7 days, I stopped. And then I stopped, and then I stopped. And I never made it home. I fell asleep right in the street. And eventually someone woke me up, and I made it all the way home. And the Seder table had been laid out, and my children were there all around. And I just stumbled into my room, and I fell asleep. And my wife's disappointment, my children. And I slept through most of the night till the sun was about to come up, and I woke up. And I called to my wife, and I said, please bring the children. And I said to my children, I'm so sorry that I drank and that we didn't have the Seder. And I want you to always remember this, that a long, long time ago, our ancestors were slaves in Egypt. And God protected them. And God brought them out of slavery to freedom. And God brought them through the promised land. And all through the centuries, God has been with us. And God will always be with us. And God will always be with you for a blessing. My children, I always want you to remember how God has been with our people. And remember all of our blessings. With that, Rabbi, I fell asleep again until your students came. Rabbi Elimelech smiled at Moshe, and he turned to his students and said, have you ever heard the story of Pesach told with more love and more commitment and more blessing? Moshe, the water carrier. So as I've said, I travel the country, and I go to, like to go to many different Seders and, see what the menu is, but besides that, different experiences. One year I went to the first Seder at Northwestern University, Hillel, and the second Seder at University of Chicago. And I figured, I'm going to get the mamash, these are going to be the Seders. And I came away, and both of them were really flat. At Northwestern, they just went around the table that was led by a rabbi reading the Haggadah. And University of Chicago was the same thing. And I thought, this could be such an amazing moment. We'd call it a liminal moment, a moment which brings people like Moshe the water carrier in. And it fell flat. And, when for all of the years that I've been around the community Seders, I tried again and again to say, okay, what's the magic sauce? Jack, thank God you were leading the Seder, but I've been able to put together a Seder. But I want to tell you about two other Passover Seders. The year that I took off and worked as a hospital chaplain in Chicago, in the intensive care unit, there was a woman, I still remember her name, and she had Guillain-Barré, which, if you're not familiar, it's a disease where you become completely paralyzed. And you have to be on a respirator, and the only way she could communicate was by raising her eyes or lowering her eyes. And we had an alphabet system where you would go A, E, I, so we'd do the vowels, and then she'd raise her eyes for the line of the vowel, and then we'd do E, F, G. And that was the only way she could communicate for many, many months. And finally, she regained her strength, and it was Passover of that year that she was able to leave ICU and go to a regular part of the hospital. And it was just such a blessing that I always remember. So we were talking about long Seders. I'm going to tell you now about the longest Seder. When I took a year off and lived in Israel 20 years ago, that year a group of us went to Poland. Can I stand somewhere so the sun's not in your eyes, or it's going to be in your eyes? And we went to Poland. And, as I've talked about, and as I'm going to talk about next week for Yom HaShoah, we saw the camps. We also learned of 1,000 years of Jewish history, very rich history, in Poland before the war. And that was in the winter. And then that year I was invited to the Seder. The head of the institute, the director, in Hebrew we'd say the Rosh Yeshiva, the head of the yeshiva, was Rav Landis. And through the years, he is my rabbi. Reform rabbi, he's an Orthodox rabbi, he's my rabbi. And I see Rav Landis and his family whenever I go to Israel. And I was invited to his Passover Seder. And everybody had to come during the week and help prepare. And the Seder started at 8, and it ended at sunup. And everybody there were about 20 people, everybody was given a part of the Seder that you had to do a little lesson on. And it was just incredible. And I'll always remember having been in Poland and what Jewish life was like then, and then having been up all night for a Seder and watching the sunrise over Jerusalem. It's a memory that will always stay with me. And everyone here shared such wonderful memories and rich memories. And, I bless you. Maybe have many joyous and rich and meaningful and blessed Seders for years to come. Shabbat Shalom. Please rise in body, posture, spirit on page 282 for the Aleinu. Kaddish on page 294. We recall those who have passed away in the last 30 days. Shelley Abrams and David Hurwitz. We mark the yard sites of Beverly Aaron, Ruth Belkin, Francis Bolio, Julian Braun, Stephen Camiel, Pauline Coates, Eileen Cutler, Richard Dormer, Ernest Paul Dornbush, Leah Epstein, Meryl I. Feldman, Martin Finkel, Janine Firestone, Ruth Friedman, Alfred T. Goldstein, Paula Height, Edith Hoffman, Barbara Jacobson, Ellen Cool Quate, Edward Lenny Madow, Evelyn Goldberg Manning, Rosalind Penn, Jack Pollock, Francis Porter, Nathan Siegel, William Smoller, Annie Smuckler, Richard P. Tobin, Rabbi Kenneth J. Weiss, Annie Sarah Wilson, Max Wallman, Ora Sylvia Barkin, Joseph Bromberg, Francis Hock, Sidney Sheridan, Mary Smith. Are there others who we add in yard site? Recall all of those with no one to remember them. Those who have lost their lives, the innocent in Israel and Gaza. those who have lost their lives because of COVID-19, because of disaster, and in the defense of freedom. We recite together. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah, v'alma v'vara pirutei v'amlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yamechon v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'bizman kariv v'yamru amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevarach ve'olam omei amaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitolal Shmei Kudusha Rechu Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata Tushbachata v'nechamata Damiram b'alma v'yimru Amen. Yehi Shlama Rabba min Shemaya V'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru Amen. Oseh Shalom b'mromav Hu ya'aseh Shalom Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yamru Amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to the bereaved. Amen.
We'll continue. We'll conclude with page 361, middle. We'll do a little blues. When Israel was in Egypt land. Come on, everybody.
Let my people go.
Oppressed so hard, they could not stand.
My people
Go down, Moses, way down to Egypt land. Tell old Pharaoh to let my people. We'll do the last verse. No more shall they in bondage toil. Let them come out with Egypt's spoil. Let's hear it. Go down, Moses, way down in Egypt land. You repeat after me. Tell old Pharaoh to let my people go.
Shabbat Shalom. I saw Hades Town this week.
It's really good. I heard some great things about it.
And but as you were singing and doing the bass part, the guy who plays Hades.
Yes, that kind of hits that thing.
Actually, his was it was Hades had the very deep bass voice.
Oh, nice.
But the guy who played Hermes, black gentleman, Martian, and really.
Cool, very cool. I heard some great things about that.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Boy, you really experience everything.
It's
amazing.
It's just, I didn't do this earlier on.
Yeah.
It's just, it's wonderful. Yeah. But it's funny though.
Hey, good seeing you, man. How's everything? Good. I heard you singing the blues out there. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Hey, how are you?
Yeah. Take care. Be well. Yep.
In June, I might be out of town, so I just wanted you to know how much we've enjoyed having you here. Oh, it's been a joy. So, well, it's a little devastating.
Yeah.
A lot of things.
I know.
But whatever. So hopefully they'll be back. I appreciate your presence has made this just so lovely. Okay, I just want you to know.
Thank you so much.
John, take care.
It's good to see you. It's always nice to see you. Yes. Thank you. So,
You're the John Nelson that
I
you
am.
internationally known now in Canada as well.
Well, you know, it's so funny. Okay. Very good.
Where are you heading after this?
I'm heading to Framingham to the apartment I have. Yeah, well, it's an in-law. It's my friend. My friend offered. If I had to pay rent at both places, I never would have been able to do this. We have a mortgage in Texas, but she's like loves having me there, and it's in the basement in my own bathroom room. Yeah, you know. Yeah, yeah. So, yeah.
Well, it's good to see you.
All right, man. Good to see you, man. Thanks again.
I wish I could have been there.
Oh, yeah, I know. Thank you.
They posted those pictures and a couple of
I love it.
There were 2 videos with your music.
That was so good. No. And please thank Tara. She was so gracious. And the other woman